edit this live. Why does everything look crooked? Something with the camera. It's like this. One side always looks more up higher than the other or something. So that's what I'm losing to. Yeah. Anyways, hello people. Even though there's no one on here right now, I'm going to be treating this like a regular video per usual. Um, so I just pulled some cards before I did the live. I don't know if you're able to somehow see me on another platform. If you are, report that platform or message me or comment or whatever about the platform that you're seeing me on. That is not the platform that I actually whatever. So, anyways, I just wanted to put out a message about um, how, especially right now, with the readings and stuff that people have been doing. Um, I have to cook it to other people. Anyways, um, and excuse the way that I look or whatever, but um, with the readings and everything that people have been doing, some people are already really good about doing like spiritual cleanses and using whatever protection magic or whatever you got to do and stuff like that. I haven't done that too many times. I don't even know if it works or whatever. I don't really do all that stuff, but that's good to do it or whatever. So I'm for that. If you, especially if you've been being attacked by witchcraft and stuff like that, and you don't know any other way to protect yourself, then do that or whatever. I do believe in good magic or whatever, white magic or whatever, stuff like that. But anyways, I pulled some cards or whatever because I know, like I'm sure other people know or whatever, if they know or whatever, that the energies in the tarot readings, not just as of lately, but in general, for the most part, have been being heavily manipulated with witchcraft. People siphoning other people's energies and stuff like that, so that they can seem like they're one person and they're not, or whatever. So I pulled some cards or whatever to try to see what the collective or the tarot readers can do to make sure that the readings are more accurate or whatever. So the first card I have is chamomile, and it says on here, gentleness, relaxation, and sleep. What I got from this card is that, like I said, I have not really, I'm scared of the whole witchcraft stuff or whatever. Granted, I might have said a couple of things or whatever for protection. I don't know if it worked or not or whatever, but I have other ways of protecting myself. Um, Whatever. But anyways, um, I feel like from this card, and I've heard people talk about it before who are a part of the spiritual community, but I've never done it before. So, but I'm thinking from this card, maybe it would benefit a lot of people to get a white candle. Maybe a white candle is like something you can use for protection or something like that. Um, and maybe you can burn some chamomile or something like that. Maybe during your readings, before your readings, or all in between or whatever like that. Maybe even drinking chamomile tea or something prior or something like that. Um, yeah, being relaxed, being balanced. I have a card that says that too. I pulled autumn. It says bounty and balance. So, you know, chamomile already kind of like puts you at this kind of. That's why I didn't really want to say chamomile tea or whatever, because I feel like that makes you go to sleep sometimes. But I feel like it can put you in a like relaxing type of feeling or whatever. So, but yeah, I have a couple of cards. I wanted to continue to pull some more cards. But let me see. So I just have like more and more cards confirming things. So it seems like herbs are very like prominent in my cards. I'm getting a lot of herbs. I mean, with pumpkin, I don't know if that has anything, but maybe harvesting heart like get a lot of like herbs or something like that, and maybe a lot of these white candles or something like that. So you don't like go through it fast or something like that, because so you can put out the messages uh, without there being any issues over time or something like that. But I got seeds, so big on like herbs, maybe even I know I need to do this for myself too. So, but maybe even a dream catcher, maybe in your sleep, especially for the people who get downloads. I got 611 that was on the time, and I got 334. Especially for people who they get downloads in their sleep or something, or they'll get messages in their sleep. Use a sleep catcher if you can afford it or whatever and stuff like that. I'm saying that because I ain't gonna lie, I can't afford it right now. Whatever, I don't care. Judge me if you want to. I used to have them, but anyways, I'm getting herbs and maybe a dream catcher. And like I said before, I'm not into witchcraft, so I don't know what this would do, if it's bad or whatever and stuff like that. But I'm getting maybe you could research it. I can research it too, or whatever. I'm not gonna do this part. I might burn some incense in. I might burn some incense and some herbs or whatever like that for protection or whatever. But um, this is giving me like what is it? What is it called? Is it called a pentagram? Without actually having five sides, like that's a cult circle or something like that. Maybe like um, I don't know if that's bad, guys. So I'll research it or whatever, because I don't want to give you any like false information. But maybe this is like a protection type of like circle. So if you do that in the space that you're doing readings or something, or maybe for like even when you sleep or something like that, maybe it'll protect your mind, protect your thoughts or something like that. And then this is very obvious. I have the rain card, purification. It says cleansing, purification, hydration. So purifying yourself with spiritual baths, maybe prior, I got 818 on the time when I was looking. Maybe prior to a reading, make sure um, not only cleanse your environment, whether that be like thoroughly cleaning. I've I've come across other people's videos and stuff like that that talk about cleansing and how like really important that it is, especially when you're a spiritual person or whatever, and you are like doing readings and stuff like that. Um, and I see now how serious it is. That is something that I struggle with. I can't lie. I've been like literally trying to clean my place every single day just because I know that there have been people coming into my place when I'm not here, which sounds crazy, but it's true. So, but anyways, though, um, cleanse your environment with a cleanser, whatever, wiping things down, sweeping, mopping, showering, or whatever prior to a reading. Uh, Maybe, like I said before, too, drink some tea prior to your reading. And I'm feeling like even meditate, like meditate or something before your reading. Like do all of this, meditate with a candle burning, a white candle or something. I don't know if there are another kind of candle a different color candle or something like that you can use. I don't know. If you know, then you know, or something. Do your research. Um, but yeah, I feel like maybe, I don't know, like center yourself or something. Maybe get some fresh air or something. The walking staff says something about support, encouragement. So maybe, getting, even though it doesn't say advice, but I don't know, getting support, getting encouragement, maybe from your ancestors or whoever else, maybe even other people who are more privy to this knowledge about, cleansing and all of that stuff or whatever. Maybe some fresh air, because if you are being heavily attacked, you can be being attacked while you're on a live. You can be being attacked, by people being able to visually see you on your videos or whatever. So that energy can come into your home space. So maybe airing out your home space as well, opening some windows or whatever, airing it out or whatever, as you clean, as you burn incense, as you burn a candle or something like that. Um, let's see. And then it says focus, regrowth, let go. The sickle. The sickle cuts away things, you know? So I don't know, maybe like you're cutting away the weeds. The weeds are being cut out. Maybe do not even fixate or whatever, and I have to do this too, on negative things. Like be careful of the information you observe. So yeah, I guess if you're viewing something, stop watching negative things or something like that. If you're observing, I said observe wrong because I was trying to say, what was I trying to say? Absorb. That's what I was trying to say. Absorb. So, and I saw 12:12 on the time. So be careful of the information or that you're either observing and that you're absorbing, you're taking in, you're watching, you're feeling. Be careful of that. Um, Weed out the bad stuff, the whatever. Like I know sometimes people want to see karmic readings or whatever and stuff like that. And maybe sometimes they're good, they're very informative and stuff like that, whatever. But just be careful about so weird. Sorry. Just be careful about the information or whatever that you're taking in, and even the people or whatever. Cut those things away. Cut those things away. If you want to be able to give a good reading, even for your life and everything else too, I'm trying to do the same thing too. Maybe we just need to start, give the reading or whatever, even if the reading has negative things in it or whatever, but make sure you do the purification part of it or whatever. Okay, make sure you do the purification part of it if you're trying to help people and give out clear, accurate messages. Then this is very essential. And maybe even for yourself, even for myself, let's start at 13 13 13. I got so many messages, I mean numbers this thing. But anyways, maybe as a collective, tarot readers, whoever, people who get downloads and stuff like that, maybe we just need to cut away all of the negative things, all of the weeds, all of that stuff, and just start focusing on this. Okay? And start focusing on this. Where is it at? Sorry. I can't get used to this. But balance. Do you see it? It's right there. Balance. Let's focus on having balance. Okay? Let's focus on, being in this kind of state, relaxing state. Let's focus on more positive things in our daily lives. Even if the messages happen to have some karmic things in it. You know, cleanse the energy before, cleanse the energy after. Do all of these things afterwards. Maybe go for a walk, get some fresh air afterward or something like that. You know, let's, be supportive of each other in the community. There shouldn't be division. amongst us spiritual beings that are actually spiritual, and we're not fake, and we're not trying to act like we're spiritual, but we're not. Or there are some bad spiritualists, but for the ones who are trying to, be on the narrow path, the long and narrow path, okay, to excel, right? To give out the good energy and good information, we probably have to start, cutting away the weeds. All right. There's some more. I got time. So maybe even timing is essential. The timing of when maybe you even put a message out might be essential. You know, hey, maybe there's a triangle in here as well. As above, so below. Roots. I don't know. Timing. Time. So maybe time is essential too to protect for protection somehow. I have to look into that. But maybe using time. And it says presence, self-awareness. So maybe this will help bring about more clarity or something if you use time. And I'm not sure what this is. I don't know if this is peridot, or I'm not really that great with all of the gemstones and stuff like that. But maybe if you use this type of gemstone for protection, maybe during a reading, or you have it on you or something like that, maybe that will help as well. Peridot or something. That's what I'm being led to say. Maybe it's a different, I don't think it's emerald, but I think emerald is darker than that. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe either or, I don't know. You can look it up. I'll look it up too. Time. So maybe, yeah, it says presence and self awareness. So I don't know. Maybe even before you do a reading, maybe pray or something like that. Or I got 17. I got 717. So maybe pray about when you should put a reading out or do a live or something like that. Um, because there are people that are constantly manipulating the energy. They're constantly doing witchcraft all the time. So maybe you have to, I don't know, figure it out, have more discernment on the timing of when you put something out. I got 1744 on the clock. So presence, self-awareness, timing, feel out the energy, whatever, meditate, all of that stuff. Maybe you need to maybe not do a live or something. Maybe, I mean, you can if you want to. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but maybe what you need to do is cleanse your energy, right? Do all of this cleansing and all this stuff. Be in a meditative, uh, you know, um, what's the word? A meditative state or whatever. I got 1822. Be in a meditative state first, ask God for downloads, whatever else, and stuff like that. Um, um, hold on. I didn't say these yet. Ask God to give you downloads or wait for the downloads and stuff like that while you're in a meditative state, all of that stuff. After you've done the clearing of the energy, the purification, all of that, after you've done all of that, right? And I got this as well. It says her, and it says safety, comfort, spiritual connection, right? So, everyone is different, but, maybe there's something that you need to do to your altar or something like that. If you have an altar, maybe if you have an altar, light your, look, here's another white candles, but there's some other white candles right there. So, I mean, it's giving altar to me. It's giving altar, you know, there are 3 black cats here. Black cats are said to represent and symbolize protection or something like that. It's just giving like really witchy energy, and for the people in the spiritual community, we know that there are whatever, I don't even like the word witch or whatever, but I mean, I guess there are witches and there are warlocks and stuff, but apparently there are good ones and there are bad ones. So, if you're using the energy for the right thing, then that's something different. If you're, using it for bad, then you know that too as well. So, but something about keeping keeping it aflame or something like that, keeping the candle lit, keeping the flame going. Maybe those are your ancestors, something like that. Call and ask for spiritual protection while the flame is lit or something like that. Clean your altar, whatever, and something like that. Light some candles, uh, do some incense or whatever, and meditate, maybe even before you do a reading, and just cleanse out all of the energy. Maybe pray or whatever, cleanse your deck, all of that stuff prior to a reading. And then, and yeah, and this is giving like ancestors, this right there, and it's like everything is backwards with this video, and this right there. I don't know if I can fix that. I don't know if that's normal, but anyways, probably. Um, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe having everyone is different, but maybe having a mat. I don't know how to call a rug or something like that. While you sit down and meditate and pray, maybe that is essential too. There is a rug where the cat is, Maybe someone's like, oh, that's reaching, but that's what I'm getting. Um, you know, like get grounded, you know. I mean, I guess you don't have to be on the ground. I don't know. It's up to you or whatever. But most of the time, being grounded is about centering yourself, being, leveled, being on the ground, being in connection, with the ground, the earth, whatever, whether it's outside, inside, whatever. Have a window open, have candles lit, you know, have some incense burning, ask God, pray to God, whatever, your ancestors, whatever. Do the spiritual cleansing prior to a reading. Get your downloads, maybe write them down prior. Um, but make sure also you purified and cleansed yourself to your body and your like the insides of you internally, with like tea or something like that. With maybe even with these herbs, the thyme and thyme. I don't know if there's another thyme, chamomile or something like that. Let's see. And I also got leaves. So this is another indication of like herbs. Herbs, and this looks like another gemstone right there. I don't know what it is. It might be amber. I'm not really sure. But it says renewal, revival, and progress. So maybe after you do these things, you know, things you'll start to have more clarity, maybe. So, peace, bless. And I'm getting again this circle of protection. Like maybe have a circle of protection around you or something while you do this. If you are being attacked, even if you don't know that you're being attacked, if you have a big platform, whatever, and you are a tarot reader or you're someone who gets spiritual downloads or whatever, Christian, whatever you want to call yourself, there have been heavy spiritual attacks. So maybe you need to do this. Maybe you can have crystals around you or something like that. Or something, I don't know. Herbs, crystals around you while you're in the center or something, meditating. So you can get maybe fresh ideas. I did get that card. Hold on, let me see where it went. I'm pretty sure I got that card. I saw something about that. Oh, it's right here. Look, it's so dumb. It says new ideas, hope, open mindedness. Okay? So be open minded to, you know, I don't know, new ideas, these new ideas, maybe even about cleansing and spiritual protection and all of this stuff, and about being open minded to the fact that maybe even your readings haven't been, you know, there hasn't been enough clarity, or the messages have been being kind of confused or something like that. And this card as well came out. It says watering can, okay? And if you notice, there are a whole bunch of weeds on the watering can, right? And before we got this card, the sickle, you need to cut those weeds off so you can be able to water your can. Maybe you see, I didn't even think nothing about this card before. I'm like, what is with this card? But maybe, you know, it it's or being, maybe some of the messages are not coming out clear because you have so many weeds around you. You have so many weeds anchoring you down. So it's like you can't get this water can right here and try to use it to water the actual plants because it's all tangled up with weeds. You got to sickle that out. You got to sickle the weeds out. You got to sickle the bad stuff out so you can be able to pick up the can and purify everything around you. Okay? To purify everything around you so that there will be renewal, revival, and progress so that you can have balance within the situation when it comes to you, your body, your mind, the readings, and new ideas, hope, and open mindedness, or whatever. Ask whatever the spiritual community, whatever, or get support from someone. Maybe that's me. Maybe it's other people. I saw 2722. Ask for support from maybe God, your ancestors, and maybe it's your ancestors too, because all the way at the top, I didn't even realize this, but there are like those stones. It's like all a whole bunch of stones piled up on top of each other. And I've seen like in movies when they do that, they've usually done that to represent that someone has passed over there or something like that. So it's kind of like a how do you say, burial site. Sorry, I can't talk. Like it's like a little burial site in remembrance of a loved one. And there are a whole bunch of like birds flying over here, you know? And then this walking stick, most people, when they think of a walking stick, they think of an older person. And then this is going all the way up there to the highest, you know, part of this ledge or whatever, mountain, whatever you want to call it, into the skies. It's like, someone passed or something like that, went to heaven. So maybe, if this does say support, encouragement. So maybe ask God, your ancestors, whatever, for support, encouragement when it comes to having more clear readings or whatever like that. Or your spiritual community around you. Because like this card says already, like I said, asking for help, sharing burdens. Okay? Maybe that's even me or whatever. But yeah, like some people have weeds that are infiltrating them. That's what this is looking like. Some people have weeds that are infiltrating their minds. This is the top of the water can. This is the top. I'm looking at this. I don't know. I'm getting just like this is your mind, and then you end up pouring out weeds, bad information, because you got other weeds pouring in this bad water, pouring in impure water into you. You're supposed to be watering the plants, good clean water for nourishment or whatever. But it's like because you're getting whatever false bad download or something like that. There's a whole bunch of weeds around you. It's not coming out clear. There's too many weeds. So, like I was saying before, purify. Make sure you're just really doing a good job on purifying your energy, the space around you, yourself, your body, your mind, and all of that stuff before you even do a reading or whatever. That is what I'm getting. I can, um, let me see if I can pull something else. And I know I'm saying that right now. I haven't done that yet, but these are not tarot cards. It's hard to confuse all of this. Granted, you could, but granted, something could be manipulated. But I did what I needed to do to get the right cards with this. But I have another other stuff out or whatever. But I could benefit from the same thing, and I will benefit from the same thing. So I do plan on doing that. And there's a lot of people doing witchcraft, especially where I live at right now. There's a lot of people. My neighbors, all these people be doing witchcraft around me. Literally, I have communities of people doing witchcraft. Like it's crazy. This is the era of dark witchcraft or something. Like people just doing a lot these days. And it's like for what? Sorry, I ask questions like in my head. That's just what I've been doing, so I'm gonna continue to do that. And I'll just give the information after it comes out, okay? So I got the confident. The question, ooh, and I got 13, 14. Um, the question that I asked was, what does the collective need to have better, accurate um, readings? And I got the confident. So the affirmation is, I honor all I have done to make me who I am today. Um, 25, 7. don't know if this is pulling on that energy, but I mean, I'm sure this is obvious for anybody, for anyone to be successful or whatever, they need to have confidence and stuff. So, okay. So I know that, first of all, I know that these are not tarot cards. So I know like what's supposed to come out with these cards or whatever. These cards, anyways. But it was flipped over. I got 36 on here, 9. It says the loner. And the affirmation is I enjoy being alone and getting in touch with my true feelings. So, I mean, I feel like most people are alone when they do tarot readings. But I don't know. I don't know if this is an indication to not go live. I know people's energies and stuff like that can be manipulated through a live because um, there people can be looking at you and doing evil eye on you and all that kind of stuff. Um, so, but I'm not gonna. I got 3644, um, and this is 36, so that's crazy. But yeah. So I'm not gonna tell anyone to not go live or whatever. But if you are gonna go live, just have more spiritual protection or whatever, because when you do a live, it's you know even more. It's even more. The witchcraft is even heavier. Yeah. And this just came out too. 33. I am 33. But anyways, it says the truthful. It says I speak my truth and expect everyone I care about to do so too. So just make sure, that when you are doing a reading, that maybe clarify it or something. It doesn't hurt to do that. Maybe especially I feel like off of a live, like I feel like especially maybe today, like I said, I'm not going to tell anyone how to do a live. I've only been doing lives because I know that I feel like people have been getting ideas from me and all that stuff because of the situation that I'm in or whatever. And so I like to do live so that they can't steal my content or whatever, because you can clearly see me or whatever, and you can see the timestamp of when this live is done, even though people know how to manipulate things when they're tech savvy or whatever and stuff like that. But either way, it says the truthful 33 is the ascended master number, you know? So, I know it says I speak my truth. I expect everyone I care about to do so too. So, um, maybe um, maybe it would behoove a lot of people to um, you know clarify their cards or their reading. Clarify it, like I said, do the spiritual protection and all that stuff first or whatever. Do the spiritual cleansing, spiritual protection, all that stuff prior. But just looking at the high priestess. But or like almost like the justice card too, without the swords. Temperance. I mean, she can embody a lot of different things. But anyways, yeah, maybe it would be good to make sure you clarify your reading or something like that. Oh, or maybe, even for a lot of people, I noticed that a lot of people use signs and all that stuff in their readings, which, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think people get too fixated on the signs, especially with there being a lot of like karmic readings and all that stuff. There's a lot of karmic energy in the readings and stuff like that. And people are going through real life situations and stuff, like real cases and stuff like that, ongoing cases. If you want to help the people who are going through these situations, I feel like there's nothing wrong with getting clarification on whether or not uh, the, the I got 40/40 on the time on if the reading is accurate or the energies are accurate or whatever. That's why I feel like it's not really that necessary to always talk about the signs. Yes, the signs can help people determine like who's doing what or whatever, but there are people that are energy swapping, energy siphoning people's energy, and that's why they're trying to mess up their readings that way. Siphon somebody's energy and make it seem like, oh, well, this is you actually doing this, or this is the other person actually doing this, then the readings are getting messed up. It's not an accurate reading or whatever. So you know, until I feel like maybe you've done all the spiritual cleansing and spiritual protection, stuff like that, maybe don't fixate on, you know, the energy behind who is doing it or whatever. You can if you want to. That does help a lot. But maybe fixate more on, you know, what's actually being done. Who's like what's actually being done, not necessarily the signs or whatever, whatever, you know. Let's see. I don't even know. That's weird that this came out. I don't know if this is supposed to come out. Hmm. Maybe this is an indication of, especially when it comes to love readings or something. I don't know. This is the romantics. Allow romance to touch my heart every day. I think this might just be someone playing on my energy or whatever. I don't know. The moon card is, or the moon is in this card. So, But you know what? That is all I'm going to really put out there right now because I need to do spiritual protection. If you don't have, if I don't know what to tell you, like if you don't have a candle or whatever and stuff like that, maybe still clearing out your energy, tea, um, do everything that you can do that was said, and maybe that will still be enough or whatever. Um, but yeah, yeah, I got 44, 33. So yeah, but I do plan on trying to get something else, clarify something else to maybe help people. I don't plan on trying to do readings or whatever. Uh, for real. I mean, maybe I will or whatever, but not the readings that most people fixate on because it is like full of drama and stuff like that. Yeah, it's full of drama and stuff like that. Even this card came out, and I think it's just for myself or whatever. But it says the nurturer. I deserve to feel nurtured, and I give care to those I cherish. This is true, or whatever. But yeah, nurture yourself too. Maybe you know, it, sometimes you have to take a break from the toxic messages or whatever, and that's just so weird because this is a nurture yourself. And this card kind of looks nurturing too, like take care of yourself, pamper yourself, whatever. Right next to this card, like it looks like she's like the Reaper or something. She has a sickle in her hand, you know, like kind of like nurture yourself from this type of energy, you know, like this. Oh, oh that's crazy. I said she looks like she's a Reaper, or whatever, like that. But in the back of the card, it says the worker. So give yourself like a break or whatever. Sometimes from doing a whole bunch of readings or whatever, especially like karmic type of readings or whatever, even if you don't intend on them being karmic. It says, I enjoy getting in touch with who I am as an individual. Right next to the nurturing card. And what card is this? The persistent. I hold fast to my goals and ideas as I persevere. So, you know, it seems like, yeah, it's fine to work hard or whatever, but then make sure you nurture yourself afterwards. And then, you can go back at it and then be in this type of energy when you go back at it after you take a break and get some rest and nurture yourself. Then you'll be, like this. You'll get your little pizzazz, whatever, clarity. You'll be, what's the word? What's the word? I can't think of the word. Basically, it's like you go from this kind of like dullness, right? Because you need to nurture yourself. You go from this kind of like dullness, you know, even though she's beautiful and she has beautiful kids and she's a nurturer. But you go from this to this after nurturing yourself. Give yourself some love and, some time or whatever. Maybe go outdoors, get some fresh air, you know, pamper yourself a little bit. And then you can go back to being persistent or whatever in your work because it does say persistent. Persistent says, I hold fast to my goals and ideals as I persevere. So, after that, the reputable came out. Yeah. So, maybe after doing that, it's like, okay, things will be more grounded because reputable came out. Things will be more grounded, things will be more, in alignment or something. Reputable. I live my life as my guardian angels are watching over me. So, maybe you'll be able to get better download and clarity and stuff like that. You'll be more reputable or whatever. 34, 7, maybe Christ-like energy or something. Talking about guardian angels watching over you. So, yeah, if you take that time, maybe it'll be more clear. The energy will be more clear. It'll be more reputable or something. The Emperor. The Emperor. He's abundant, you know? He has a whole dynasty, empire. 22. I am worthy of respect because I am respectful of all. So you'll be more reputable or whatever after you nurture yourself. Then you can persevere, and, get back at it again and be on business, be about business, 10 toes down. I don't know why I said that. I don't even talk like that. but but yeah, then maybe you'll be people will be like, okay, like I don't know, you'll be more respected or whatever as a reader or something like that. Be inspiration. I allow inspiration to fill me so I can inspire others. So yeah, that this persistent card, it gives inspiration too. Like go outdoors and be more inspired. Maybe this is even talking to me, but I'm sure maybe this can help other people too. You know, once you go outdoors, once you nurture yourself and you stop working yourself to death or something like that, then and get inspiration from being outdoors. Get inspiration from being outdoors. Then you can inspire others. Especially if you're a creator, content creator or something. Says a creator. I love playing the wonder-filled game of life created creatively. So you'll be able to, I don't know, be more creative or whatever. Content creators, you know. Going outdoors, having more inspiration, maybe you'll be able to manifest more. It says, I am manifesting what I see in my mind's eye. Okay, so maybe this is important too. That's weird. Um, anyways. It says this card says the lustful. So mostly that is usually given a negative connotation, but it says the lustful, and it says, I embrace my individuality and sexuality as sacred gifts. So this is kind of a more, and I got 5311. So this is kind of a more, how do you say, um, like, I can't think of the right word to use, but more positive aspect of this card, or this card is supposed to be uh, positive in a sense. You know, granted, yeah, we don't want people to lust after us, but knowing that, your sexuality or whatever is sacred, um, I don't know, it's a sacred gift. Most people, especially in the tarot community, know that. I don't know, maybe that can affect people too. I don't know. Maybe be careful about who you give your energy to or something. Hmm. Maybe be careful about being lustful too, maybe. 32, 5. But yeah, your sexuality is a sacred gift. Says I embrace my individuality and sexuality as sacred gifts. So yeah, maybe there's something about protecting your sacral energy. I know that's been a big thing. A lot of people have to protect their sacral energy, and um, with energy siphoning and energy harvesting and stuff like that, people attack your sacral energy. So maybe everybody in the spiritual community, whatever, need to focus on somehow being able to um, hone in on protecting their sacral energy as well. Maybe. All right, so that's all I have for right now. Or let me see something else. Real quick. So, let me see. So I'm gonna have to clarify this after I've done spiritual protection and all this kind of stuff. Let me see. I'll tell you what I asked in a minute. Let me see something real quick. justice. And we got two ace. So ace of swords. Or no, that's not ace of swords. What the hell? Okay. Okay, I got ace of cups and ace of swords. Okay, so let's see. I'm testing something out right now. Something out. Okay, and last other swords. So, alright, so I'm gonna see something else real quick. Ah, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Oh my gosh. Look at God. Oh, hold on, hold on, hold on. I keep thinking that's the ace of swords. Hold on. Let me if I put this up wrong. I'll look back at this. But let's see. Okay. Ah. Yeah, Vicky. Period. Period. So the question that I asked was, do headphones help because I saw the other reader have headphones on. And I've seen other readers in the past have headphones on. And I'm like, why do they have headphones on? Are they like getting their readings from someone else or whatever? But the truth of the matter is that, and maybe some could, but the truth of the matter is that, you know, our ears have, I don't even, I'm not a scientist or anything or a doctor, but we have spaces in between, um, like our brain or whatever in our ear or whatever, and there's something, about communication and sound waves and different vibrations and stuff like that, being able to penetrate through our ear canal and be able to like register different things or whatever. Um, and so, anyways, basically, at least this is my experience. I don't know what other people experience, and granted, whatever. I'm extra terrestrial or whatever. But anyways, when people, I mean, anyone can feel this. I mean, we're all human, we got ears and stuff like that. But when there's witchcraft being done on you, my experience is that, um, you know, uh, the only reason why it can affect you is because of whatever they're saying or whatever, and however the magic works, whatever like that. It's causing uh, vibration to come at you. It's like kind of like communication or airwaves or whatever, a frequency, like a negative frequency coming at you and attacking you. But the only way it can come at you and attack you is through an orifice and not through your mouth, or I guess it could if you eat it or something like that. But um, it can happen through your eyes, like your eyes, have is an orifice or whatever. Your mouth, your ears, like anywhere that there's a hole or whatever. Like if there's a hole, that's how the that there can be a connection. That's how there can be an infiltration or whatever. Mind, body, spirit, whatever. You know, um, we are spiritual beings. You know, what do they say about eyes? There's something significant about eyes, and that being a spiritual way, people can attack you through your eyes or whatever. Um, with your mouth, I guess, if you eat something that was spiritually contaminated or something like that, you know, maybe it can kill you or something like that. Via sex, if you have sex or sexual relations with someone who doesn't have good intentions for you, 111 on the clock, or 11111 on the clock. Um, if you have what is it called? Sexual relations with someone that doesn't have your best interest at heart or whatever, um, you know, we know how sex happens or whatever, and we all, females, we have an orifice or whatever down there, or in our sexual organ or whatever. And so, the minute that there is a penetration or whatever penetration happening from this person or whatever the case is, even they have an orifice, and their male sexual organ or whatever, that is a way for the transference to happen spiritually and everything else. So that's why you have to protect yourself. What is it? I forget. I think it's biblical too. Um, Something about I see no evil, I hear no evil, I speak no evil, or something like that. So you have to protect these orifices, all of them. Like even our skin, like we have little holes or whatever like that in our skin. So but like the bigger orifices or whatever, they are usually the ways in how people attack us or whatever through our eyes, by what we see, you know, by what we hear, what we're listening to, what we're watching, what we digest, what we speak, you know, um, by who we're laying with or whatever, sexually or whatever like that. Um, and that's why spiritual cleanses are necessary. because we do have little tiny holes in our skin or whatever. So maybe that can help us too, like whatever special type of um, ointment or whatever we put on us, it'll get absorbed into us. Maybe even our blood, obviously, because these are pores. But so, spiritual cleanses. That's a very that's the what the message is about, and that's a very prominent thing. You know, um, spiritual cleanses, and be careful of what you hear, what you see, what you speak, what you ingest, what you digest, what you say out of your mouth, whatever, all of that stuff, who you're laying with, whatever, and all that stuff. And because you guys weren't able to see the cards, when I asked, if earbuds or headphones or whatever can help, uh, I asked, can earbuds, headphones, or whatever help um, readers get a better, more accurate reading? And I got two yeses. Okay, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. You won't be lacking anymore. The information. Okay, the information will not be lacking. It's like, here it is. You get a rose. This is accurate. This is good. This is abundant. Period. Looks like coming from source. Now it'll be coming from the source. Okay? When you plug up those ear canals, but I would suggest that you do it after you've done the spiritual everything and stuff like that, because what I realized was that I have been being spiritually attacked this whole time or whatever. Once I cleared out my ear canals, whatever, cleared out the negative, the witchcraft and all that stuff, then I put the earbuds in. Then it was effective. Then I was able to pull the right, accurate messages or whatever. Because even if you see this, you know, it's like waves. That's what communication is. They're waves. It's wavelengths that travel. All right? And this is, it's giving ear canal, whatever. This is the source. Like whatever comes through your ear canal is going into your mind. It's a channel. Ear canal, it's a channel. Airflow, communication, travel. Wavelengths are traveling, communication travels, whether it's good or bad. And it's like you pluck it right from the root. You can pluck that whatever. I said before, like, yeah, you get a rose. Like, yes, it is abundant. It's a cups upright. But it's like you can pluck that negative thing right up from the roots if you just plug it up, I, I don't know how other people, I don't know, maybe not everyone else can feel what I feel and all that stuff, but I know how to clear out, like, I don't know how to call it, but the negative airwaves, channels, or whatever. I know how to clear it out. I know when it's clear. I can feel when it's clear. I can sense it when I clear it out. When I clear out my air canals or whatever. Not physically like going in there and stuff, but like there's a way I know how to do it with my body or whatever. So, I mean, shoot, maybe somebody might need to clear it out. Would they clear out their earwax or something with a Q-tip or something? Who knows? Maybe put some Q-tips in there or something. Q-tips are not supposed to be good, but you know, there's even an egg in there. I don't know. It's like, yeah, clear that thing up because you need to protect the egg, protect Protect it. I don't know. Yeah, it's like if you can clog it up or whatever, protect your air channels, your air canal, whatever. And you have the world. The world card is upright. The world card is upright. But there's a serpent. It's like trying to infiltrate into this space. And you see the eyes are there. But this is also even looking like a portal, like your ears are a portal, like your air canal. And the eyes and the mind and everything is all interconnected. It's like the snake is supposed to represent something good too as well. But it's like it can give like infiltration poison because it is wrapping around the owl. It's trying to wrap around these animals. But it can be protection too. So it's like be careful or something. The world card is upright. So yeah, it's like yes, plug it in, protect your air canal so that there won't be betrayals. So there won't be betrayals, bad communication coming through as you're trying to channel, as you're trying to, do messages or whatever. And then you'll have a victory. Then you'll have a victory. And he looked kind of like, there's a lot going on, you know, but you'll have a victory, maybe even from the spiritual attacks, because he looked kind of like, a little like, you know, he right on top of that lava, 55, then 10, completion. He right on top of that lava, like, Lord Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Let me have a victory over this. Here you go. I'm gonna block the sun a little bit because it is getting hot or whatever. I'll help you a little bit, type thing. The victory from the Ten of Swords, from an ending. Aw, Bambi, so cute. Oh, that's sad. Maybe a victory over trying to Ten of Swords, an innocent person. Over endings, maybe even over illusions. It's caught trying to cause endings for an apprentice of swords upright. Not able to leave in a cups and reverse with all these praying eyes. It looks like looking. Not able to leave. Someone trying to work hard, maybe speak the truth. Raising all hell breaking loose, over this apprentice. He's been, not able to walk away or something. Because all these desperate people who's desperate, scared, or whatever, and stuff like that, about some kind of communication trying to come in, they're trying to block, or whatever. You're trying to block going back and forth or whatever. Trying to go back and forth. To cause an apprentice to be lacking money. An apprentice of Pentacles in reverse. Going back and forth. What about trying to create chaos, storms, or something? So an apprentice of Pentacles will be in reverse because of an Elder of Wands or something, or an Elder of Wands is watching or something. He's winning this one right here. Somebody who's trying to, someone who's older, Elder of Wands. Man who's older, you may be venomous, like, because this is giving very venomous, I don't know, some type of salamander, whatever, that want to look like a leader or something like that. Anyways, I'm not going to go through all these cards, but you guys saw both of the aces. You can believe it if you want to. You don't have to. But if you try it, it might help a lot. So, like the little reading that I did prior, it said be open to new ideas. It said that. So, don't knock something you haven't tried. Try it out or something. Maybe the earplugs or whatever, without going live or whatever. Or you can do it while you go live. But it's making sense now why not. So some people do it maybe because they know about that. How their mind can be infiltrated or whatever with the witchcraft or whatever. So to block it out, they use the earbuds. But the thing with the earbuds, because what I was saying, I got 454 on the time. The thing about the earbuds, though, is that you can't be listening to something while you're doing that. Because like I was saying about wavelengths and communication and sounds and vibrations, it has to be nothing because these people know how to, they know how to manipulate energies and sound waves and all that kind of stuff. So let's say you happen to be doing a live or something like that, and you're listening to something. There are hackers and stuff. They know how to hack. I don't know if they can know how to hack your phone or whatever like that, but I'm just saying, just to be on the safe side, I wouldn't be listening to anything. I would just have something that will basically block out your ear canals so nothing can come through it. So whether it's earbuds or it's like headphones that literally block out any and all sound, so you can't hear anything, like, at all. I think that would be helpful. I seen that one reader do that. That was really smart. She's very into it. That was really smart because she knows. She already knows stuff probably been being manipulated and stuff. I know that's right. So yeah, I think that would be very helpful. And that was very smart of her. That was very smart of her. But yeah, um, it's not about whatever, looking like you following somebody or whatever. Like, if it works, it works. You want your readers to have the accurate messages, then do it. 4:55 on the time right now. Then just do it or whatever. Like, let this be a message for everyone else in the tarot community. 4:56. When I see that number, for me anyways, that's about a rebirth. Anytime I see any number starting off in the 56, that's a rebirth for me. Don't ask me why, I know why. But so that can start about a change, you know. Um, it could start a rebirth. It could start, it could help the whole tarot community get clarity on things from now on, moving forward in the future, in the other readings, for other situations, for other people, for other cases, or whatever the case might be, you have to start protecting yourself in all ways, mind, body, spirit. I see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, and all of that kind of stuff. Be careful, with your sacral energy, all of that kind of stuff. I think it would behoove all of us to align our chakras, do some yoga and all that stuff. I'm going to start doing that. Be careful, it's like there are people who are constantly doing witchcraft on us, so we cannot, do the things that we need to do to be spiritually aligned, so we can be the best versions of ourselves and be able to progress in life and on our spiritual journey and stuff like that. So it was kind of like a video I was watching the other day. When you are seeking out to do something that is going to help you in a positive way, you have to just try your best to, you know, stay on task with that, and don't let any energy or anything else like that deter you from doing the goal that you set, if that is to exercise more often, if that is to start, waking up at a certain time, stuff like that. I already know that I need to start doing that. I've just been being heavily affected by witchcraft from these people that live right up above me. I promise you, I have nothing to lie about. Anyways, yeah, it's like you have to really start being like really up down your protection, because it's like there are a lot of people watching us, you know, this spiritual community. A lot of people have eyes on us because they know that we know things. They know that we can see things. They know that we can discern different things. And there are a lot of people right now who are going through karma. Karma is being delivered to them on a freaking platter, because people have been in the wrong for a long time, doing a lot of wrong things. And, if you happen to be reading on these certain individuals and whatever and stuff like that, you know, they want to see to it that they can try to manipulate things so that you know they don't have to be under judgment and stuff like that. So if there's a way, even if like everyone is a different reader, everyone does different types of readings or whatever, but if there's a way even you can give people a solution, because that's usually the best thing, but a solution for those who are the victims of the situation, not a solution for the people who are on the wrong side of things. That's what they want. That's what they're looking for. For the people who be like, oh, well, if you do this, then you're gonna like stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop telling the enemy how they can win or whatever. Please stop telling the enemy how they can win. You know what I'm saying? But and some people, maybe they're unknowingly doing it or whatever. But it's like you have to really be careful and protect yourself, protect your energy, protect your space, cleanse everything out or whatever like that. And it's like, give the messages, but please, if you can, try to like give advice as well. It's like, okay, this stuff is happening. And a lot of people do give advice, but sometimes, some people aren't giving advice, maybe, I don't know. But, the people who are in, these tough situations, even like myself included, sometimes we need good advice. And not everybody is that intuitive and stuff like that. Or maybe they are intuitive, but there are people who are constantly doing witchcraft on them to block their intuition. So, and then there are some people who, these things are happening to them and they don't read cards or something like that. Or, they don't want to even continue to focus on doing that because it's just been troublesome or something like that or whatever. So, you know, even if you excuse me, are giving the messages, and maybe even though I don't know why they would rely solely on this, but the feds, whoever, the police, whatever, they all in this and they looking and stuff like that, at least give more clear messages and concise messages for them to follow if they have to, because unfortunately, I'm not gonna speak bad on all of them or whatever, but unfortunately, like these trickster people, these people who are doing witchcraft, they are trying to fool everybody. Everybody, people in the justice system, everything. And it's good that people in the justice system have, tried to, you know, be more open minded to how they can, try to crack down on things and cases and stuff like that. So they use tarot. That's great that they're open minded about that or whatever. But it's like, the energies and all that stuff are being manipulated so much. It's causing confusion, not only for the collective, but for people who are trying to investigate and they realize that there are a lot of things that are spiritual and this and that or whatever. So it's like, we just have to do our best to uh, make sure that we are up on our spiritual cleansing and protection and all that stuff. And, it's a lot of people infiltrating, it's a lot of different people. It's a lot of people who do bad sorcery, these elite people, maybe even people in the government and stuff like that, obviously, because a lot of these readings are about people who are in the government as well. So, yeah, that's my message. And, hopefully you take this and you use it and it's very beneficial to you. And remember to, um, give yourself a break sometimes, pray, fast, um, spiritual fasting, whatever, nurture yourself, get out of nature so you can cleanse your energy, cleanse your mind, whatever, and stuff like that, and then get back to it, when you feel like you cleared everything out or whatever, just because we have to be able to recharge ourselves, and that was one of the cards that I did see too, something about sleep and what was it about getting sleep and stuff like that. You have to remember to recharge your energy as well and stuff like that. That is very important for us, for anybody, but especially in my experience, um, you know, recharging yourself is necessary. Recharge yourself with the sun. Recharge yourself with food, with good, healthy food. Like recharge yourself. Get out there. Get outside. I'm looking for the card that talks about what card was it? Let me see. I forgot. Um, maybe that was a different like something. It's about sleep. Yeah, because this card was out too, so it was about I don't know what it is, but I did see a card about it was a chamomile card. I think it was. That's why I was confused. I'm like, that chamomile can put somebody to sleep. Hold on. Relaxation sleep, yeah. So yeah, this is going. So I understand now because some of us or some of you guys or whatever, including myself, whatever, we need more sleep. We need to be more gentle with ourselves, with our bodies, with our minds. We need to be able to relax and stuff like that too, so that because this card came out too earlier, so that we be able to, you know, regenerate, feel renewed, refreshed. It says renewal, revival, progress. So we can recharge and stuff like that. So just make sure you are taking care of yourself, you're nurturing yourself, and you're giving your body rest, recharging your energy with the sun, everything else. Um, aligning your chakras, whatever. Maybe make a routine. I know I need to. I've been wanting to make a routine, spiritual routine, uh, where you're constantly meditating every day in the morning or whatever before you even do your reading or whatever like that. Maybe not everyone can, just depends on the situation, but meditate, learn about yoga, try to align your chakras. I plan on doing this too. I'm speaking to myself too. yeah, make sure you recharge your energy, get some fresh air, all that stuff. But all right, I hope that this is helpful. All right.